Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
Here on Global TV, this is FOTOTalk, broadcast series on globalbusinessnews.net. Welcome. So this series is all about enjoying photographs that I've taken either originally or photos of someone else's photo. And there's a story behind every one of these things. And of course, it's personal to me, but I welcome your opinion. What do you think of a particular photo, or what do you think of this show? And if you'd like to come on the show and bring some of your own photos, we welcome you. And there's no charge. So why not? So contact me by email, publisher@globalbusiness.media, or you could text 619-787-3100, and you could add +1 if you're from outside the US. So here we go with Global FOTOTalk. So this is from Dr. David Weiss, who's based in Toronto. And I don't know if you could read this thing clearly. If it could be enlarged, it would be great. But at the top, it says creating an agile culture. Yeah, okay, cool. Now scroll down a little bit. All right, and you see the author's name, Marion Temin. So it's about simplicity and collaboration and empowerment and data. And then being agile, act, learn, adapt, and then speed. Okay, this is all about the acceleration of innovation within a corporate environment. Now, it doesn't have to be a Fortune 500 company. You can do it in a one-person company. But the idea of changing the way you look at things, almost like rebooting your brain, as another talk show host once said, you can change the way you do things. Rebooting your brain, change the way you do things. Here's Dr. David Weiss's contribution through the author here of a flow chart of what does innovation look like? How do you do it? So this is a slide from the last conference we produced, live conference in London. And our professor at the time asked these questions of the audience. And this is, of course, pre-COVID and lots of international business travel and international assignments. And he says, what if you ask these questions? And the author's name is Michael Elia, that's E-L-I-A, and he's a consultant for many years and has some very large organizations as his clients. So how can people and organizations flourish? As you can see is English, you can see the way the spelling of organizations. How can people and organizations flourish through the experience of global assignments? So, how can the transferee and family flourish? In other words, are they being trained right? Is the assignment organized? Does it have earmarks along the way for measurement of success? You got to measure ROI. So it can be a little difficult because unless there's a very specific financial target, it's very hard to measure. So it's all about the new skill sets being learned from people who go on assignment, the idea of how the organization can benefit from this person being on assignment. What is their contribution? And there's a second question on the bottom, how can we create competitive advantage for the company by having a policy of global assignments? This is very difficult, particularly now in a post-COVID environment where virtual has taken over and will survive for sure, at least in a hybrid format. So how can we as a company, as a structure, gain competitive advantage, which means against our competition, through this specific global assignment? So it's a very interesting question now. Organizations are deep in thought about this, how work is distributed. Global talent development used to be only sending people out. A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of personal trauma, or it could be a really big success if it all clicks. But that's a risk mitigation that's required. So what about shifting the work to somebody who's pretty much qualified on the other side of the world, a different time zone, a different culture? Let them do the work. It's far less expensive, no business travel or as much. And then you build up your global talent bench. These are new questions. Actually, they're old questions. This is from 3.5, 4 years ago. But today they're more relevant than ever, aren't they? So this is Dr. Lynn Schmidt, and she's the author of these 2 books and a third one coming out soon. So this is from a recent broadcast, Dr. Lynn Schmidt. Shift into Thrive is a book she wrote for women who are coming up in the world, and many of them are striving to open their own business, tired or sick of the corporate culture, and they want to make their own and see how that works. So how do you shift into thriving? Well, there's a whole set of skills and attitudes that is necessary, and Dr. Lynn Schmidt itemizes them. And then the other book, Thriving from A to Z, that's also very effective. Of course, you can get these on Amazon. Or look up Dr. Lynn Schmidt. That's SCHMIDT on LinkedIn. Okay, so here we are, once again from a major consultancy. And if we could zero in a little bit just under how productivity works. All right, so this is personal now, right? So mindset on the left, habits on the right, and then hacks on the left, and body. So let's try to zero in on hacks. What's a hack? So if we can zero in on hacks, that will be a little bit better, and scroll up a bit. And so the first one up there says, visualize your train of thought. So then the author says, if you can't see it and visualize it and write it down, it's a passing cloud. It doesn't exist. So visualize and then capture that thought. And then the next is read visual information. In other words, look at YouTube or some other videos. Interesting, isn't it? Okay. And then under that, any idea can be simplified into a diagram. Well, once you get the idea again, I guess, but right now we're not going to learn about that. But by looking at other diagrams, we can get the idea though, right? Then underneath that, it says, in the morning, draw a mind map of the day ahead. Isn't that interesting? Rather than making lists. I haven't done a mind map of anything, but I wonder what that would look like. A mind map. Look at that. They misspelled it. Mind app. Maybe they mean an app. I don't know. What do you think? So if you can scroll down, it says you can do it in 2 minutes. It's great. Emails under 5 lines? I don't know. Boy. Turn off all electronics. How do you do that? Okay, on the right, body. Oh, this is about personal. Let's look at that. Solve problems in your sleep. Maybe. Positive words. I like that. Positive words attract positive outcome. Okay, let's scroll up and look at the top 2. Once again, the theme of this thing. You can see the headline just for a sec, please. Thank you. Productivity. How does it work? All right, so he says, or she says, in the mindset, 80% of results come from 20% of your work. Then it says, if being productive means being selfish, be selfish. So that means don't think of the team? I'm not sure what that means. What do you think out there? It's not about time, it's about energy. Yeah, that could be. Keep starting until you really start. So that means you keep trying even though something doesn't work. And then you know it when it happens, you get re-energized and go forward. Isn't that interesting? All right, on the right, habits. Do one thing at a time. Then the third one down, do it every day. And look at that. It says it takes 30 days to form a habit. This is one of my favorite pictures. So I didn't take the picture, but I took a picture of a picture. And then I enlarged it in Photoshop and did some color work. But isn't that fantastic? Wow, says it all. No words needed. The American eagle looks like a flag. Powerful. That's like the original drone, isn't it? When you think about that. And talking about flyovers, well, here's me smiling, and that's my Joanne, and there's a pilot behind us. So we are in a biplane, which is one of those old-fashioned things from Raiders of the Lost Ark and even beyond, the 2 wings. And we have the headset, we sort of look like Snoopy with a microphone. And it's really noisy. That engine is really loud and the wind is whipping. We're only up about 5,000 feet. And this is over the desert, which is east of San Diego. And as you can see, the sunshine. It was actually late afternoon, and it was about 2 years ago.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a timely announcement.
Hi, I'm Sergei Gorbatov.
I'm Angela Lane.
Together we are researchers, writers and practitioners in the field of human resources.
And we've also been multi-country, multi-assignment career expats.
We owe our professional development and growth to a very large extent to the international assignment opportunities that we have had.
But in a world where distributed work may become the norm, we also want to understand what will happen to the nature, duration, and purpose of international assignments.
Together with our colleague, Julian Dalzell from the University of South Carolina, we're undertaking a study on the future of expatriation.
And we'd value your contribution. You can participate in this important study by completing a simple 10-minute questionnaire.
Access the questionnaire by typing in your browser tinyurl.com/expert study. That's tinyurl.com/expert study. You can also find the link here on Ed's website next to this video.
Thank you for joining us in this study in return for your contribution. We'll provide you with a copy of our research.
And of course, you'll be invited to an exclusive webinar hosted by Ed, where we will share our findings right here on Global Business News.
And so please go to tinyurl.com/expat study. Take the survey so that we can better understand the future of expatriation.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
So this is our favorite. It's a theme of our global meeting rooms. So in the olden days, going back a couple of years, we produced live conferences. In fact, for more than 20 years, our company has produced over 350 live events, training events, conferences, meetings, speakers, sponsors, across the US, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Europe. Many people don't know each other or have vague connections. So they enter as strangers, and it's my job as the producer and the host and facilitator to encourage and to better enable people who come to our meetings leave as friends. So this is Joanne's favorite. So, you know, here in San Diego, this is a military town. This is headquarters for the Third Fleet, the Pacific Fleet, or one of the headquarters. And it's a huge presence in the Southwest US here. It's headquartered right here. And we actively support the USO. And a long time ago, I was in the Army. I was a medic. Trained as an operating room technician. Home of the free because of the brave. And it's not people like me, it's people who actually go out on combat. Thank you. Okay, so this is a mind game. Again, I didn't write that. I just took a picture of something that's really cool. And this is a discussion point in some of our events, in some of our meetings. It's kind of a head shrink, but it gives you an idea of how you can communicate, how you can be more creative, and how you could value thoughts and opinions of people who are very different from ourselves. Creators or victims? So this is not political, and it's not meant to be hurtful. It's just to get you thinking. So look at number 2 on the left under creative people. They focus on possibilities. But somebody with a different attitude, not that it's bad, it's just different, they visualize themselves as, well, victims. So rather than focus on possibility, they're dwelling on scarcity of whatever that means. So openness, bigness, striving. On the other side, the flip side, is more of ingrown scarcity, taking care of things. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not me, but others may see that as the way to go. So let's look at a couple of others. Creators question their own beliefs because they want to understand themselves and know thyself before you can know others, that's for sure. And the opposite, as opposed to question their beliefs, in other words, they're introspective and always searching for answers. Somebody with a victim attitude, they know what their beliefs are and they're going to defend them. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just totally different. So you can read down that list and you see that some of that stuff's going on right now. This was a fun picture. So this is bubble making on the beach. So the scene is Mission Beach in San Diego and just about sunset. And this was done about a year, maybe a year and a half ago. And there's a guy, and if you can scroll down, you'll see that if it's in the picture, maybe not. So there's a guy there, and he's got some kind of a stick, and it's got that bubble making stuff, and he keeps blowing into it. And then the wind, so the wind's coming off the water behind the bubble, blowing it towards me. All right. And some of the bubbles are huge and beautiful the way the light hits it. Isn't that great? Well, there's my friend Jerry, the giraffe. He's looking around. He could see things much more than I can. Hi, Jerry. Oh, he's peeking in the window. Uh-oh. Okay, so we'll talk about immune system here. So eat your vegetables. You know, I don't know about you, but I love green beans, and steaming them is really the way to go, although I've sauteed them and even tried to grill them on the barbecue. But the best for me is steaming them and salting and putting garlic in the water before they bubble up. Soaks them through. And then when you put them on the plate, just drop butter on it. God, it's great. Yum. In fact, I have some in the refrigerator. So this happens to be in Greece. I wasn't there, but I took a picture of a picture because I thought that was great. Doesn't that look like a beach ball? Now that's over a historic site. See all the people standing around? So it's part of a historic area in Greece. Beautiful. This is Honolulu, taken from offshore. We were on a sailboat, you know, a tourist boat. And as you could see, there's storm clouds in the background there. This being a tropical area, the rainbow is unusual, but the clouds and the rain every day is a normal thing. But you know, if you didn't have rain, you wouldn't have rainbows. Now here's a particular beautiful one crashing down, the rainbow is crashing down on behind Waikiki. Amazing, isn't it? So I want to say that Global TV Talk Show is launching a new series called Did You Know? And the first show is coming up on July 30. And more about that later. But the first show is going to talk about American history. And did you know that the U.S. had all these flags? And as you could see, they go back in time. So in the upper left, Grand Union flag first appeared in 1775. And then just the next year, you know, Betsy Ross, she sewed the flag. This says 1776, and that was just about the time of the Declaration of Independence. And then the colonies, 13 colonies, had their own flag, 13 stars. Look at that, isn't it beautiful? Starry night, right? And then the lower left, 15 stars, 1795. So that's almost 20 years later before they had 2 more stars. And that means 2 more states. Star Spangled Banner. It's probably right around the time it was written. Not sure though. And then the bottom middle, the Civil War, terrible thing. 35 states, 35 stars. But you could see President Lincoln did not allow the removal of the stars. He was determined that the Union would win and the country would stay together. Not going to let it fall apart. Paid a terrible price, didn't they? So this is a movie that's playing in the IMAX Dome Theater in San Diego, in Balboa Park, and it's a documentary about northern British Columbia, north of Vancouver, up near Alaska, and it's all about the bears. And it's just a beautifully done movie with voiceover and music and just wonderful photography. And part of the cast of characters and the storytelling is native Indians from that area taking care of the animals, taking care of the countryside. It's fascinating. This is really good for the whole family. And that's FOTOTalk. And today is July 19, 2021. And I'm Ed in Seaport Village area of downtown San Diego. You're on Global TV Talk Show. Please come back.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.